Scott Mills, the presenter of Radio 2's flagship breakfast show, has been sacked by the BBC following allegations about his personal conduct. In a statement, the corporation confirmed his departure but said it wouldn't comment on individual matters. An email sent to BBC staff acknowledged his sacking would be a shock to audiences and loyal breakfast show listeners. Scott Mills has been a presence on BBC radio and television for more than 25 years. Our culture and media editor, Katie Razzle, reports.
Bravo, Patrick. See you tomorrow.
Bye!
Scott Mills ended his Radio 2 show last Tuesday, clearly intending to return. But he hasn't been on air since. By the weekend, he'd been sacked. This morning, the BBC's Director of Music, Lorna Clark, wrote to staff, "I wanted to personally let you know that Scott Mills has left the breakfast show and the BBC. I know that this news will be sudden and unexpected and therefore must come as a shock, not least as so many of us have worked with Scott over a great many years." She went on to say, "Of course, it will also come as a shock to our audience and loyal breakfast show listeners too." So far, the BBC has not been drawn further on Scott Mills' abrupt departure, but we have confirmed it relates to allegations about his personal conduct. It's a humiliating end to a career that took him from teen star on local radio to the heights of success.
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you, my friend.
He replaced Zoe Ball last year when she stepped down from the biggest breakfast show in the country.
And this is the Scott Mills Breakfast Show.
More than 30 years after, aged just 16, he became the UK's youngest radio presenter at Power FM in Hampshire.
All right, let's get it started. Let the Eurovision Song Contest begin.
Other career highs included presenting Eurovision, appearing on Strictly Come Dancing,
Spot. Say yes. Stop.
and in 2024, winning Celebrity Race Across the World. Now, Scott Mills' contract with the BBC has been terminated, and it happened fast. In the week that the outgoing Director General Tim Davies leaves the BBC, another BBC scandal on his watch.
Mr Edwards, do you apologise for your crimes?
But after Hugh Edwards, the former News at 10 presenter, later convicted of making child abuse images, the BBC launched a review into its culture and practices. This is how Tim Davies told MPs things were changing.
We're not mucking around now. You have to be clear, and to the earlier point, you have to be fair. But if you're not living the values, it is clear you leave the BBC or there are consequences.
Make some noise!
The allegations against Scott Mills are not yet public. But the speed the BBC has terminated his contract suggests it wants to make its message clear that no one is irreplaceable.
Well, Katie Razzle is with me now. So Tim Davies last week, the new DG is about to start, and another big problem for the BBC.
Well, yes, it is a problem for the BBC. We, of course, don't know how big yet because we don't know exactly what it involves. One argument is this is actually good for the BBC in the sense that unlike the previous crises that I've come into this studio many times, too many times, to talk to you about, Sophie, this time the BBC reaction was very quick, as I was saying. No procrastination, no lengthy investigations. But that may be because Scott Mills put his hand up to whatever was being alleged. That was not the case with some of those involved in previous scandals. It's obviously a real problem for Radio 2. Scott Mills was popular, relatable, warm. There just isn't an obvious replacement for him on a show that pulls in 6.5 million listeners. Earlier this month, Lisa Tarbuck announced she'd be leaving her Radio 2 Saturday evening show after 14 years. Zoe Ball's already almost entirely walked away from regular Radio 2 presenting. So a problem for Radio 2, but yes, another BBC crisis. There's an irony to it happening in Tim Davies last week, a time when he would be hoping to be focusing on his triumphs, and instead, yet again, the BBC's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. I think it becomes a full-blown crisis if more emerges that specifically damages the BBC. If not, they will say the scandal has been contained. But, of course, it is also a reminder for the new DG that scandals can blow up fast and you need swift resolution.
Katie, thank you.